If you are in my audience and you feel like you do not have enough freedom of speech, make some noise. Clap your hands. Yeah. That's why you come to my fucking comedy show and hope I say this shit for you. I recognize I'm taking the fall. Anywhere else in the world, this is stand-up. In India, it's a setup. Who here feels like they have enough freedom of speech? Never gonna get into trouble. Make some noise. They have freedom of speech. Yeah? See, those fucking morons are the problem. Right? They don't have freedom of speech. You just have uninteresting thought. Nobody's coming after you because all you tweet about is fucking football and intermittent fasting. That's it. By the way, for those of you that are watching who don't know what intermittent fasting is, it's where, some people will like not eat for 16 hours a day. It's like a Western thing. Except in the West, intermittent fasting is a choice. In India, it's just life, right? Intermittent fasting is just poverty with an app. That's all it is. The first half of the video will be light, chilled, easy, fun. And by the second half of the video, when it gets real, given YouTube algorithms, most of the audience would have gone, so we should be fine. Who has freedom of speech? Leaders. Politicians. Because as leader, you don't have to make sense. Any public speaker that I love never ever made any sense. They were just memorable. Their style of speaking was memorable. John F. Kennedy. John F. Kennedy was optimistic. That's the secret of his public speaking. John F. Kennedy's greatest quote was, "Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country." Bullshit statement. Makes no sense. I have questions. Who are you supposed to ask? It's a legit question. Who do you ask? Do you ask your country? Because then your country has to do something for you, which is tell you what you can do for your country. So you're not asking not what your country can do for you and what you can do for your country. You are asking your country to do something for you, which is tell you what you can do for your country. If you think about that shit 10 times, you will buy a rifle and shoot him from a grassy knoll. I promise you will. Look at your faces right now. You look so confused. You're like, huh? You look like kids who have listened to jazz for the first time. There are no words. Adolf Hitler, great public speaker. Can we agree? Adolf Hitler was energetic. That was his style. He always looked like he was being attacked by a bee. Watch any Hitler speech. Have you watched German people watching the speech? Even they're moving. They look like they're playing Call of Duty while they're living in Call of Duty. That's all the Heil Hitler was. It wasn't a salute. It was just trying to find your center of gravity at the end of the speech. But he was energetic, so he influenced millions and millions of people. That's what Hitler was, by the way. He was just the world's first influencer. Think about it. I mean, what is an influencer? It is an evil, talentless person who gives you instructions that you blindly follow, and 5 years later you can't remember why you did that shit in the first place. There is no difference between Hitler and Khloe Kardashian, alright? Except when Khloe does a juice cleanse. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I love Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King had a different style. He was enigmatic. He was loud. He was charismatic. Martin Luther King's greatest quote was... Not, "I have a dream." No, that was like a... There's like a full dream, guys. It's like a half-an-hour speech. It's not a succinct quote. It's a big dream. What do you think happened? Like 1 million black people marched to Washington, D.C. and stood on the steps of the Capitol, peacefully, I might add, 2020, peacefully. Right? Just stood on the steps of the Capitol. And then Martin Luther King came out and he was like, "I have a dream." And they were like, "Cool, brother." And then they left. We just want to know that you was dreaming. We don't need to know the deets. No, you just have to be memorable. To be a good public speaker, you don't have to make sense. Our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, is a fantastic public speaker. He is top 10 public speakers to ever live. Because Modi is hypnotic. Every Modi speech has an upwards and downwards inflection that hypnotizes you. It's a trick. This is every Modi speech. It always begins with Mitro. Now, for those of you watching outside the country, Mitro means friends. Because when our Prime Minister makes a speech, he's only talking to his friends. And it's just iambic pentameter. This is every Modi speech in history. Metro! Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. That's every speech. Think about it. Every speech. जो कांग्रेस ने 60 साल में नहीं किया. It's just a formula. If I dip and escalate my voice, you feel like something cool was said. You're just hypnotized. Don't you recognize the pattern? It's hip hop. He's rapping. Don't you recognize it? If you got problems, I feel for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a ain't one. It's the same damn thing. That's why he doesn't do press conferences. People think it's a lack of democracy. No, he just has no indoor voice, guys. He'll scare people. Can you imagine our Prime Minister indoors? Turn the air conditioner on and get me a smoothie with protein and kale. That's why he only takes questions where he gets to give you very succinct one-word answers indoors. Think about it. Look at India right now. We have a migrant workers crisis, a water crisis, a farmers crisis. Our GDP has shrunk like 9,000%. But the two pieces of information we have from our Prime Minister for sure are 56 inches and chosa, Akshay, chosa. That's it. And I apologize. I know that video, that this is going to make some people angry. It's going to make fans of the Prime Minister angry because most of them cannot spell GDP. And if you're taking a while to get that joke, you voted for the right guy. Look, let me put it to you this way. I'm not saying that if you voted for this government, you're stupid. I'm just saying if you're stupid, you probably voted for this government. Now there's a difference between the two. I'm not saying you shouldn't support the government. You and me both support the government. We do with our taxes by following the law. Understand what I'm saying. There are multiple intelligent, successful human beings who voted for this government because they see merit in their policies, merit in their ideas, in their ideology. And along with them is every stupid fucking person in India. Now, that begs an important question. Aren't there stupid people who support the Congress party? Who support the opposition? Yes, there are. And most of those stupid people are in the Congress party. That's why I feel bad for right-wingers or whatever who, who are intelligent and support this ideology because you got to live with all the stupids around you, It's like you're in a swimming pool and that works for Trump supporters, Modi supporters, Brexit supporters. You're just in a swimming pool, but all these other guys are in the swimming pool with you. And you're just trying to do some laps, but these guys keep drinking the water. You're like, guys, the water's not for drinking. Drain the swamp, chronology, stop the steal, build a statue. You're like, we're not going to stay afloat. And if you go and look at this video, when it goes up on YouTube, you will find some comments that are like, Veer Das is an unintelligent comedian. He does not know enough about politics. He should stick to what he knows. And that is a valid point of view from the right wing. And then if you look at the 3,000 replies underneath that comment in agreement, that's the fan base. So Modi gives you succinct information because, and that's tough to do. You got to be cool to give succinct information. That's why I think the greatest public speaker was Barack Obama. Can we agree? Yes. So cool. Never got into too many words. And you accepted that back then. Do you remember the night Osama bin Laden was assassinated? He just came out and it was so simple. It's like, good evening, my fellow Americans. Tonight, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Navy SEALs in Abbottabad, Pakistan, shot and apprehended Osama bin Laden. Osama's body will be disposed of at an undisclosed location. God bless America. Good night. He would never get away with a speech that simple today. He'd have to include everyone and make everyone feel like a part of it. I'd be like, good evening, my fellow Americans. and non-Americans. Immigrants, both legal and illegal. Binary and non-binary. He, she's, LGBTs, Qs, and Republicans. Tonight, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and at 4 p.m. in Malawi, where I am not from, given my birth certificate, Navy SEALs, not to be confused with Antarctic SEALs or plastic SEALs, even though all SEALs matter, shot and apprehended Osama bin Laden with this rifle that retails on Amazon.com for $999. Osama will be survived by 4 wives who will soon have their own reality show on Netflix, The Fabulous Lives of Qaeda Wives. A slower and more effective form of terrorism. Osama's body was going to be disposed of at a location we thought was undisclosed until a reporter from Republic TV in India chased down our helicopter going, Osama ki body, Osama ki body, Osama ki body, Osama ki body. And that's who has freedom of speech. The most hateful, violent, ignorant, misogynistic, racist, and unscientific shit has always been said in front of a flag that people love and on a stage that was built for by taking money from the very people that the speech is going to oppress. Who doesn't have freedom of speech? I'm not going to tell you. I'll just give you a hint. Right now, there is a comedian in prison for over a month for jokes he didn't do that evening. Comedians have to write affidavits to the Supreme Court to explain their tweets. I got 17 legal notices last year. I went to court twice. Why? Is it because we're not funny? Definitely. Definitely. Any comedian of any group is not funny to a large cross-section of society. That doesn't mean we go to jail or to court, does it? Look at you, you're not funny. Not one of you is fucking funny. I heard you coming up, oh my Crocs, fuck you, you're not funny. I don't see you going to court. So why are comedians, writers, journalists, poets, artists going to jail? It's because they're afraid. Afraid of who? Afraid of us? Fuck no. They can squash us in a second. Watch, they will, soon. They're afraid of you. The scariest sound that this establishment can hear is not the wording of my jokes, it's the energy in your laughs. It is not the statement I make, it's the agreement in your lungs. The target isn't my microphone, it's your throat. It is. And if you consider what laughter is, which is just the involuntary exhalation and inhalation of air, you think you don't have freedom to speech? Bitch, you don't have freedom to breathe. And then you have the audacity to tell me we have an agenda? We do. It's laughter, you dumb fucks. That's all we care about, is laughter. Whatever you laugh at, we will do. Whatever you stop laughing at, we won't do. You think I want to do these jokes? You think I don't want these jokes to seem unrealistic? That they come out of nowhere? Not all of us agreeing on them? Fuck, if you stop laughing at this shit, I will switch to hacky material tomorrow. I will be up here for hours being like, isn't going to the gym so hard? Women talk too much. Airline food. I will do that shit for hours and hours and hours. I'll do it. And the only edge I will have over you is when I skip ahead of you in the line because I'm a platinum member. A platinum member of what, you ask? Anything. That's how you skip lines in India, by the way. That's my strategy. I just walk ahead of people in the line. They're like, sir, where are you going? I'm like, I'm a platinum member. And Indians immediately apologize. Oh, very sorry, very sorry. We're always comfortable when there are 2 more unattainable rungs on the ladder above us. I do that all the time. I'm a platinum member. I do it in like fucking everywhere. Like in restaurants, at airports. The other day, I got the COVID vaccine. Those old people were very apologetic. You know what freedom of speech is like? It's like both you and me are on a train, right? And like 5 feet away from us is a guy with his dick just hanging out. We can't do anything about the dicks. I'm just talking to see if you see it too. That's freedom of speech. I don't care if you like the dick, worship the dick, however you feel about the dick. Again, look at it, love it, suck it, do your thing. I just want to know that you also see the dick. Alright? Because anybody who has been to therapy and been told that they are addicted to self-pity knows that if you are imagining you are surrounded by dicks, chances are the dick is you. Is that a woke existential dick joke? You're goddamn right it is. So take a breath and have a laugh and let me know you see the dicks. That's a horrible way to end this video, isn't it? Because the video should end on a big applause. And this is just, no, I'll earn it. This is such an empty statement, I'll make it work. Can I try it one more time, yeah? Yeah. Take a breath and have a laugh. Let me know you see the dicks. Finish.